McFadden here, and welcome to another episode where I sit down with another superstar to dive deep into their own backstory, find out how they got their start in property, and more importantly, we talk about some of the juicy deals that they're working on. And in this video, we have Heather Critchlow.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good, thank you, darling. I'm good.
Good. So we've been spending the last couple of days together because you're up in Glasgow. We're in an event here, so it's been great to spend that time with you and have an update with what you're working on.
Yeah.
So maybe we can talk about that and share that with everyone. But what I'd like to do is take them back on that journey, take them back to Heather pre-property.
Yeah.
So maybe get a little bit of a backstory of yourself leading up to getting involved.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Good.
So, oh gosh, backstory. So, for me, I've always been around property, so that's why I've always been really, really passionate about it. I first kind of got into property, it was through my dad.
Right.
It was my dad who, he got into property first and started to build a portfolio. But that is a story in itself, and that really means a lot to me. In fact, I wrote an article about it on LinkedIn, which I'd recommend anybody to read anyway, get a bit of bedtime reading. But so my dad, he was really successful and kind of managing director of some companies, but then all of a sudden got made redundant. As it happens, it affects people. Just last minute, he was the main breadwinner of the family, got made redundant and got the worst kind of redundancy deal. And it was just like, well, sugar, how am I going to bring up a family of 5? I've got all these commitments and stuff. To double that as well, he was at a time when he got made redundant, say on the Friday. And then on the Sunday or the Monday, he was then going in for a heart operation because he had a hole in his heart. So then that meant he was bedbound for several months because he couldn't really move or do anything. And it was just like, well, where am I going to get my income from? And then through himself, he was just like, right, well, I'll get into property. I can kind of see the benefits of that. It's that passive income. I need to get something going for the property. And then he was a little superstar, kind of. He built up a portfolio himself, and it sounds really selfish, kind of him getting made redundant and going through that, but at the same time, for me as a family, it was the best thing as well, because he was always an amazing father and always there, but since property, he was always there, because when you're working full time, and that's the thing, you don't have that time aspect, and you've got a big demanding job. So he was brilliant. He was always present on holidays, but say he'd come when we go for a weekend, he'd come on a Friday evening, but then having to go Sunday night, you never really get to see him, and he was coming home late. But then when he was into property, he was always there, he was always present, and that was something that really meant a lot to us as a family. And then several years later, fast forward, it was like 13 years ago now, he died of cancer, and it was all really last minute, so we only had 6 weeks notice. He got diagnosed on my mum's birthday. God, we're going in deep here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Going back, but I just wanted to kind of share this story just because it means a lot.
Great
like,
role model to get you started too.
Oh, he really was. So on my mum's birthday, he got diagnosed with cancer, and we got everything in order. And then 6 weeks later, he sadly passed away. But I guess I wanted to kind of share that because then that's when we stepped up to kind of get into the property. I already knew the importance of it anyway because he was present. We had the passive income, but like I say, Dad was the main breadwinner, and without that, we would have been screwed. Like it was the properties that kept us afloat as a family. We was able to kind of still keep living as we was before, obviously without Dad. But if we didn't have that, wouldn't have had that base, and that's always been instilled in me to have that. Whether it's fear or what, I don't know, but the importance of having that other income and that time, just having that security. So that's how I got into property. So I've always been around it, and then we've always kind of managed the portfolio, and it kind of ticks along because you get somebody else to manage it for you anyway, which is brilliant. But then I just kind of woke up one morning because I'd always been investing in my own, building up my own portfolio buy-to-lets as well. But then it was a typical of like one a year. I'll get one a year. And then it'd be the odd year that I didn't get one. And then it was just like, oh my God. And then one morning I just woke up, I was like, I need to change this. I need to like get things going quick. I want to increase that income. So it's one of those realizations. So then I just something switched in my brain and just got really, really focused on it. Got myself educated. And then that's when I came across HMOs, and which is house multiple occupation, if anybody is unaware. That's where you can buy one property and you can convert the bedrooms.
Yeah.
So it's kind of multiple incomes just by the one property. And for me, that's just been a game changer. So I've been buying them, just kind of dominating in my area. And I just love it and what you can turn it into. And
yeah,
it's just been nuts ever since. And then meeting you guys, it's been crazy, yeah.
And you've got a great story about your first property that you did, which was a HMO, because we were talking about this just before the podcast started with your partner. So maybe share that story, because when you share this, people are going to realise that they're not, this is a common story, and they're not alone, because this happens a lot.
Oh my God, yeah, my husband, love him to bits. I call him a bit of a train nerd because he's an engineer in the railway, and he's amazing, and he's so super supportive now. And it's wonderful because when I first started property, he was just like, what are you doing? Education. You were cool. You can do this yourself. And so he's so super supportive. He's like, I know you can do anything. But he thought I was crackers. And I was just like, it was funny. Because I usually I'm just going to do it anyway. And he's brilliant. He's so supportive. And it was funny. I was driving home one time in Derby. And I was like, oh, darling, I bought something. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, come on, let me show you. And we turned up to this house, and he's just like, I was like, ta-da, this is what I bought. And he's like, what the hell is that? Because it was this 3-bed terrace, completely run down. I managed to get it pre-auction as well. So that was brilliant. It was an absolute steal of a property. And it was disgusting inside. Even the estate agent didn't even want to go inside because it had dead pigeons in it, pigeons flying around. It was a state. And he was like, what the hell are you going to do with that? And I was like, you see? And I took him inside and I was like, look, I'm going to turn this into a HMO. See, this room here, the lounge, that's going to be a bedroom. I'm going to put an ensuite there. Work into this one. It's currently the dining room. That's going to be a kitchen. And that bit, the kitchen now, that's going to be a bedroom and ensuite. And I'm going to convert all of it. And he's like, no, that can't happen. I was like, yeah, I'm going to turn basically a 3-bed terrace that's full of dead pigeons into a 5-bed all ensuite. I was like, oh God, what the hell? And fast forward now, and that is an investor. Now he's an investor. He's just like, and now he's coming up with ideas for it because he can just see how properties can get transformed and what you can do to them. And now he's a big supporter. But like you say, resonating with people who don't necessarily have a half that is always supporting you and kind of knowing you've got those challenges, whether it's your family as well. It's difficult, but it's good to kind of show them what can be done. Yeah.
Some people don't see the vision when they walk in and see a property that's run down, because one of the skill sets that you want to do is to identify those properties and, when you see a property in that condition, normally you can get it at a good discount. Yeah. But more importantly, you can add substantial value.
Oh, ridiculously. Like you say, if you have that vision and you just know what you can turn it into, it's crazy because I go in some properties and I'm walking around and everyone's going, oh, this is disgusting. What can you do that? Oh, no, too much, can't do this. And I'm walking around going, this is amazing. Like, oh my God, dead pigeons, this is amazing. Like, you can smell it. But having that foresight and the vision is absolutely key. Yeah. I mean, the values that I've now turned them into, I mean, you sound bad kind of blowing your own trumpet, but it's like I've more than doubled, which is nuts, the value of the properties. Yeah. Just by having that vision. It's crazy. Yeah, I want to dig into the numbers because it's exciting. We were talking about this yesterday. But before we get there, so you're going along in your career, you're adding a property to the portfolio once a year, maybe skipping a year or two. You have that epiphany moment, something needs to change, I need to get more serious about this. And I remember you coming along to one of our events and you were so hyper at the back of the room. Yeah. And the energy, and I love that energy, because we all know that person that walks in the room and sucks the energy out, but you're the complete opposite, It's one of those ones that you light up the room. Aww. And we were sitting chatting away and I'm like, we've got to work together. There's going to be a lot of synergy, a lot of things we're going to be doing. And so maybe just give a little bit of the background of coming on board, working with us as a protege, how you felt that, what it did for you, and then really what's been happening since then. Yeah, amazing. So I first came across you guys, like yourself and Billy. It was on my 10X tour in London. Yeah. It was back in November, I think it was. And I was like, oh my God, who are these guys? I absolutely love it. Just, you know, when people just come on stage and you really resonate with somebody, like both of you just came on, I was like, who are they? I need to be with them. And it was after that, because you were talking about the mindset, and you just resonate because you're just so down to earth, and that's what I wanted. You just click with somebody. I was like, oh, I really like these guys. And then I got into it through your podcasts. It was listening to your podcast, yours and Billy's, and oh my God, I was like, every day, repeat. I think I'd listen to every episode. It was just quite nuts and quite being a bit of a stalker. Sorry, Paul. And then, like you say, I had the Jumpstart event. It was in February. My husband was going to London. I was like, one of those moments, do I do it? Do I not? Because I was going through a bit of like issues at home and stuff. And I was like, oh, do I do it? Do I not? I was like, okay, I'll just come down to London. And oh my God, just like literally just everything you were saying, it just really clicks in you. And the opportunities and the vision and what we can do. I was like, yes, I am going to be working with you. Because I remember, like you say, I came up to the back of the room. And I was like, Paul, I'm going to be working with you. I'm going to be the next such and such. Yeah. And I was like, I don't care what you say. I'm going to come and do it with you. And it was just brilliant. But a bit that not many people know about this is actually, I don't think I've even told you this. Have you ever seen the film Sliding Doors?
Yes.
So that really resonated with me because I was going through a bit of difficulties at time at home and personal stuff. And I went to the Jumpstart event. But what you don't know about this, even though I absolutely loved the event, I had to go and get a train. And it was literally sliding doors, like you'd think Gwyneth Paltrow. And I was walking out the hotel to go and get the train. And then I just thought, no, it's not this. Like, this is like, means so much to me. Like, something just really clicked. And then I walked back in. And then I was just like, this means so much. And I just came back in. Instead of going to get the train, came back in. And that's when I went back to the room to find you. I was like, where's Paul? I was like, where's Paul? I need to speak to Paul. And then that's when I was like, no, this is it. I am going to be the next such and such. I'm working with you. We're going to do big things. And it all went from there. And it's, yeah.
Wow.
I know. It was a proper sliding door. Because I look back and I think, well, what if I did just walk out of that hotel? Would I still be, I definitely wouldn't have been as accelerated as I am now. Like, I think back with the months that have gone, like what I would have missed out if I didn't come back. So,
do you know what I love about this here? Like, I would never take credit for anybody's success. Like, I'm always saying that because sure, we give a lot of information at Property Protege. I believe it's true because everyone says that we over deliver, right? For sure. So we want to give a lot because it's important for people to take that information and apply it.
Yeah.
And I've had this with many people I've had on the podcast and so forth. And the same kind of story is that people can get the same information, but it's those who apply it. So I would never take that success from someone because ultimately you went out and applied the things.
Yeah.
So that moment was awesome because you came, got some new information, started to apply that to your business, and and it's just showing how things are going strength for strength because you're talking about how you're raising finance now, how you're working with a lot of great investors.
Yeah.
And I say this all the time because an investor wants me to make money from the deals that we're doing, because if we're making great money and you get some great deals, ultimately that means you're getting paid and your investor gets their returns as well. They're happy, everybody's happy. So maybe talk through some of the things you've been doing from Protege and some of the stuff you shared tomorrow and dig a little bit deeper in your numbers.
So exactly that, like it sounds really cheesy to kind of say how much it has transformed it, but like you say, it's not only been my life, but it's been my family and my investors who I work with. It sounds really cheesy because but it means a lot to me because it's transformed my life in kind of how much I've grown and stuff like that. But the investors are what they've got, and the family, I've been able to give back to them, and now they're able to have that time and making their money work harder for them that wasn't doing anything there before. Yeah. And because I'm a relationship person. That for me is first and foremost. So that's why I only work with a few people. And I want to make that really kind of personal touch. And then when they're saying back to me, oh, I'm going on the holidays, like I've got people going on cruises that they never could have done before. And the time that they spent with the family, that's when I hear that back from my clients, and we always celebrate with a bottle of fizz as well, it's just been mental. But also helping even the people that I'm buying the houses from. So recently, like I was working them, I managed to using the skills that actually we got from Protege. I remember being at the Protégé, and then on the Monday I went and used the skills from that, and I managed to get the most ridiculous deal just by applying the lessons learned from that. But it wasn't just about, oh, I've got this amazing deal. Like, it was actually helped that vendor. Like, they'd never been through the process of selling a house, we're going through probate. So it was supporting them. And yeah, some of the numbers on it has been great.
That point, I'm sure you were saying that you weren't even the best offer. But it's the relationship, and this is what I always talk about. God. It's the relationship.
I share this. Yeah, this is crazy. So, I got the property, but it was like it's first and foremost. It's not about going in there, how big I am. It's you're dealing with people's lives. Do you know what I mean? It's their home. It's everything to them. And I just built up such a good relationship. I was understanding. I mean, it is people at the end of the day. Yeah. And like you say, I wasn't even the best offer. Like, they even said, and they'll openly admit it, like they got offered like 20 grand more, £20,000 more. But the people who were offering it were like kind of not bullying, but just kind of like always in the face, and they wasn't there. But they could see the relationship that I'd struck with them, and it was generally from a right place. I wouldn't have paid £20,000 more. I don't think I would. I probably might have walked away, but the relationship that I struck with them, and this how I was caring for them, it helped them throughout the whole process. It means a lot to people, like, and it's not always about the money for that. It was having that relationship. They could see I was genuine, because people can offer more, but are they a sure thing? And that's the thing. They know that with me is I've got that relationship. They know I can trust, I can deliver. So it wasn't just a case of there and taking them for granted. I was going to be with them throughout the whole process, and I'd get the deal done. And that's what they wanted. They wanted the time to get moved out to another property and just have a sure thing. And relationships just go beyond anything in all aspects throughout the whole process for me as well. It's key.
Good. So you have a little bit of a niche here that what you've been applying, and you've identified certain properties using your model that you've kind of adapted and so forth, where you're literally doubling your profits, you're paying your investors their great returns and so forth. And obviously bringing a great income for yourself. Yeah,
it's nuts. So I'm really focusing on, at the minute, like I say, my HMOs, my house multiple occupation, and exactly that, like literally doubling, more than doubling the value of the properties. It's just been mind blowing, like what we've been achieving. And my team have just been great, like my brokers, solicitors, and now we've got it all like clockwork. And that's key, because now I can go in, identify a property, I know exactly what I'm looking for. I've got my team all lined up. I've got my builder and project manager. I can just walk around a property and be like, right, we're doing this, X, Y, Z. But that's why the team is just so brilliant as well, because we'll look around a property and I'll know. In fact, it was this one that was doing. I'd have thought, oh, easy 5-bed. But again, the power of having a good team and the vision, we was able to walk around with the project manager and he'd be like, you know what, if we just do this one tweak here, actually, we can turn this into a 6-bed. And actually, the one upstairs, if we could put like a little kitchenette in it as well, that makes it like a little special room, and then increase the value of the cash flow again. So just by having the power of that team and that vision, we was able, not only is it going to increase the value of the property, because now turn it into 6-bed, so the equity in there is just going to be nuts and doubling the value of the property. But those little tweaks, I've just then increased the cash flow from a 5-bed into a 6-bed, 6.5 really, because of how one of the other bedrooms is just nuts how big it is. And that's the beauty of having the team. And now I've got it like clockwork, and they just know exactly what I have and what I want. It's been fantastic.
So for those that are listening, the difference between like a single buy-to-let and a HMO, again, it just depends on the location, whether we're working or not. This is some of the stuff that we dig in and Protégé and so forth. But what I do love, and what you've clearly got as well, when you identify in the right locations, you get the right team, the vision, the understanding of the strategy, you can turn something where you can get a single let of like £700-800 a month to double, like sometimes maybe £2,500 to £3,000 a month.
Oh yeah. Absolutely spot on, and that's the beauty of it, because I still love buy-to-lets as well, because they're still great. The demand for them all is brilliant, but you're literally taking, so from one property, which is why this makes me laugh when people go, how many properties have you got? And I'm like, well, you're asking the wrong question here. What's your net cash flow? It doesn't matter how many you've got, it's what are they doing for you. because like I say, that one property is the equivalent of having, so with that, I've turned that into 6 rooms, 6 buy-to-lets, if not more, because of the value of the money that's coming through and the equity. It's crazy, absolutely crazy, but
and even better when you're partnering with other people. Because I'm always vocal about this. Like even from day one, I've always used other people's money because my own personal story, I never had any to get started. And even those who do have funds to get started, because I know you already started building a portfolio, why not raise other funds from investors? Because you're paying them a return, and ultimately you're putting that into a vehicle that's secure, because you've got the knowledge to add the value and so forth, paying them a return back. And when you've got a bit of knowledge, it's powerful what you can do.
Absolutely, it's absolutely spot on. I mean, that's the thing, people reach out to me and the money's just not doing anything for them.
Yeah,
it's either just sat in a pension pot and then you can't touch it until pensionable age. And what rate is that even on? What's the pension provider even giving you? I've actually looked into that, and they're like, oh my god, or sat in an ISA doing nothing, and like 0.5% or something. It's like whoopie-doo. And exactly that. People are just wanting to make the money work harder for them. And when you're getting ridiculous returns, well, why wouldn't you? I mean, there was one example. In fact, I think I wrote a post about it on LinkedIn. I had one client reach out to me. This particular one, they did have a couple of properties, and I was just like, okay, well, let's have a look at them. And then she mentioned like these 3 properties that she'd got, and they'd got mortgages on them, and I was like, well, are they right? What we're doing? But what we managed to do just by staring at him, I could quickly identify, and working with my broker, who was amazing. We managed to pull out an additional £90,000, so extra money from those properties, reduce that mortgage rate, because what she was on from people who said, oh yeah, I've got a good deal for you from brokers, which was absolutely rubbish. We managed to reduce that rent, that mortgage rate, so that made her net cash flow increase from her rent, and still pull out £90,000, which she then could reinvest into like whatever we was doing and get an annual return that she was doing. So she couldn't quite grasp it. I'm like, yes. So yeah, you've got money that you've just pulled out, reduce your mortgage rate, and you're making more money from investment from what return I'm giving you. She was just like, this is nuts.
You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know, and this is just it. You don't know what you don't know. Because she was just like, I'm kicking myself, and I was like, you don't kick yourself. Don't beat yourself up. You don't know what you don't know. This is why it's so important to speak to the people who do know these things. And now she's like, it's wonderful, because now they're going on the holidays and what they're doing, and there's other properties now. I mean, when we pulled out the 90,000, that wasn't even going. That was only kind of about half of the equity that was in there. There's more to go at and more properties. She's just like, I'm sat on all this money and it's doing nothing. I was like, yeah, you say you think you've got money, but well, what's it doing for you? Is it being put to work? And she's like, oh, yeah. It's just one of those light bulb moments. And it's been amazing. Yeah,
exciting. So what's the future hold for Heather going forward? And how can people reach out to find out more?
Oh my God, the future is just, it's so exciting. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I mean, just being here these next last few days with you guys and the team again, just talking about some of the deals we're doing is just amazing. So HMOs are going to go through the roof, kind of like what we're doing and building that, and it's exciting, and we're going out further and just kind of really honing in on my clients now, wanting to kind of really kind of expand that slightly, but just a few more kind of, because I like to keep that relationships. And the key thing kind of reaching out to me, I've got follow heathercritchlow.com and LinkedIn it's been brilliant. That's where a lot of people reach out to me, and then we'll just have a call and see if they're the right fit, and if they're not, then fine. But if it's something I feel like we can work together, we can build that relationship, and it's something that we can do to kind of get where it is that they want faster, then brilliant. Reach out to me on LinkedIn or.
Great stuff. So I've had fun. This has been good.
Thank you. Me too. I know we went deep. I was at the beginning. Yeah.
So good. So as always, make sure that you reach out and connect with Heather. We'll link off to her details and stuff below the video. And as always, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, the podcast and so forth. And hey, comment below if you've got any questions. I'm sure I'll jump in for sure, and I'm sure Heather will keep an eye out and look and answer any questions they might have as well. So again, thanks for listening, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Cheers and bye for now.